The Miners' Cup, the symbol of UP football dominance. The Huskies take pride in owning it for a decade and a half.
Coming up here for my first official visit, I remember walking through the doors of the SDC, all the coaches standing there waiting at that front lobby, and right next to that is that showcase where the Miners' Cup has been sitting for the last 14 years. And so that's kind of the first time I heard about the rivalry, and obviously I've heard about it constantly every year since then. So, it's been something that's always talked about among players and coaches here.
I think the first time I really heard about it wasn't until I was actually up here playing football, and yeah, there's a little bit of buzz around it, going through like camp and like the rest of the season. But once it came to NMU week, there's definitely a lot more energy going on.
Coach Thomas's brother was actually my DC at Lake Orion, where I went to high school. Like the whole recruiting process with Northern Michigan and Michigan Tech, of course, like you learn about that rivalry when you come on visits here and at Northern. And especially here, we've been dominant for the past 13 years, 14 years, 15 years.
Both of us usually have to travel quite a distance to play against all these other teams. And yeah, it's kind of a backyard battle, even though we're still a good distance from each other. But yeah, it seems like the whole UP kind of comes together to pay attention to this sort of game, no matter what sport it is.
It's like Michigan, Ohio State. As much as that's a big broad, this is the UP of Michigan, Ohio State.
For many current players, the highlight of the streak came with last season's 62-0 pasting of the Wildcats right in their own home.
Debuting our white-on-white jerseys, of course, playing over there at the Dome, and kind of dominating the game from all three aspects: offense, defense, and special teams. And of course on defense, putting a goose egg up for them. So I'd say that was my most memorable moment.
We pride ourselves on our run defense. We usually, every game, set to hold teams to at least less than 100 yards rushing. So we put a lot of attention to detail, a lot of energy towards stopping the run. So definitely nice to see like the fruit of our labor, especially against a team like our rival, like Northern Michigan. It makes sense because we're bringing that much more attention to detail and that much more energy and juice during the week towards that, and it's awesome to see that it really pays off in a game that like really matters to us.
It'll be Freeze, the quarterback, looking for a block, got the block, and just like that, it is 30-0. Well, Alex Freeze is having himself a day, isn't he?
Everybody was clicking on offense. The offensive line played great. Will had a great game. Freeze almost broke a couple records that game, and D-Will, of course. Glad he's back this year. It's just Freeze be able to click. When we give Freeze time, he's the best quarterback in the league. And just him being able to play uncontrolled in his own mind, be able to do what he wants to do. We're the best team, and especially when we're playing Northern, it's just up another notch.
To have the ball in my hands, it's always something cool, and especially to do it against our rival at their place. One of my favorite moments of my career was that fumble recovery for a touchdown. First thing going through my head once I get in the end zone is turn around and celebrate with my team, because it's not for personal achievement, but it's for the team at that point.
Great rivalries are marked by ebbs and flows through time. This team, however, wants to keep the recent Husky flow going.
The more I play in it, the more I realize how awesome it is to be a part of it. And like, I've played in 3 games already, and that's only a quarter of the total amount of games that we've won in a row. So there's like so much more to it. There's so many more players in the past that this game means a lot to them as well. So there's more pressure, it seems like, this week to like keep that streak alive and to continue winning. And yeah, we definitely got to bring it every single year. And yeah, I think I realize more deeply every single year how big this game is for the program to have something like this.
Obviously, we want to win the Miners' Cup for the team that we have right now, in the room we have right now, but also to think about the guys that started this streak 13, 14 years ago. It's pretty cool to think about that we're continuing what those guys have started and what other teams have done in the last 14 years. And so it's not only for us as a team, but for all the past Michigan Tech teams that have continued that streak.
It's a lot of fun to go down there and whoop their butts when we beat them 62-0 last year. at their place. Great atmosphere because everybody in the UP comes and watches that game. But nothing's better than being at home in front of our fans, in front of our students. I would say playing at home is a lot better.
And while it's great looking back on the past, make no mistake, the focus is on this calendar year.
Especially as a team captain, I'm striving to push this team to beat Northern, beat them worse than we did last year, to keep the cup back at home.
It's cool to always look back at the 13, 14 we've had in the row, but it's all about this year, and it's about getting this one. It doesn't matter that it's the 15th one. Yes, it does matter, but it matters that Michigan Tech beats Northern this year and continues that streak and continuing to get on the right track of this season and just continue to build the confidence of the guys who are in the locker room, and also just make the UP proud of keeping the Miners Cup in Houghton.
For Husky Vision, this is Greg Christopher.